Man United versus Aston Villa. Let's talk about Aston Villa first. We talk about Man United quite a lot. We'll get there, guys. Don't worry. When it comes to Aston Villa, of course, a lot of talk about Grealish. It's always on the tip of our tongues when it comes to Aston Villa, but he's gone now. It's time to move on. Are you excited by this Aston Villa squad with the signings that have come in after the few games that we've had so far, the 5 games?
Absolutely. I think when at the end of the transfer window, we were discussing who's had the best summer, I think Aston Villa were right up there. Yes, they lost Jack Grealish, okay, for £100 million. It was a British record, a lot of money. But I think the players that have come in, they can cover for him in terms of output, definitely. I mean, I know there's probably more salaries involved. You know, all the players that have come in, it's about goals created and being scored. And I think if they can start to be a team that's hitting 2s and 3s, they're going to win a lot of games. So you've got to be positive about Aston Villa, but I still think it's going to be a tough one against Manchester United, who aren't always at their best at home. They've got a lot of criticism this week after the EFL Cup game. That was a defeat to West Ham at home as well, about how they can break down teams who have a low block, who defend really, really deep. And that the annoyance for me as a Manchester United fan is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said at the end of the game, we have problems against teams that defend deep, that play a low block. That's disappointing. Well, you've been the manager for over 2 years.
It's been the same problem throughout.
It's been the same problem throughout. You're going to have a solution anytime soon. That's what I want to know. And it can't just be Cristiano Ronaldo, can it?
Well, I mean, I think that is probably what Ollie is kind of banking on here, really. You know, if you look at their XG for the season so far, they've scored 13 from an XG of 7.6. So what that means is that they are being clinical. And by they, I mean, Ronaldo is being clinical straight off the bat. I mean, he needed to take that chance against West Ham last week. But what they're banking on is the fact that they're not going to maybe create as much as some of the other teams. You know, let's talk about Liverpool, for example. Their XG is 14 so far this season. But what you're hoping for with Man United is that you've got enough goal scorers in there to get yourselves over the line. And it's one where, you know, people that get a bit annoyed about XG, this is the one that you want to root for Man United with this, because it will show that it's not all down to that. It's down to the quality of the players that you've got. And, you know, with the likes of Rashford coming back, Sancho really starting to find his feet. I think it's one where this is a really interesting game, because I think the Aston Villa squad building that's happened over the last few years has been fantastic. And even the likes of Danny Ings, who comes in, yes, you're a little bit concerned about the injuries that he might pick up. Yes, he's a little bit older than you would like for spending 30 million. But the squad depth is really high now, really high. You know, you've got people like Leon Bailey coming on in the last game, Jacob Ramsey getting involved, Traore coming off the bench as well. There's a lot. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and Aston Villa are a lot stronger than they used to be. So this is going to be one for me where I'm intrigued to see how Aston Villa go about it, because I don't think they will defend deep. And I think Aston Villa might have one of those seasons this year where, because they feel like they've got the tools to go after teams, they open up a little bit. And it might play into Man United's hands on this occasion. But you're right. The thing to do is to defend how Aston Villa defended last year at times, you know, counter-attack at pace, have that low block, because we're still at a stage where, despite the amount of money that's been spent at Manchester United, they're still at a moment where they haven't got a very clear plan in how to break down these teams. I mean, can you see a plan? Is there something changing or tweaking with this new team that they've got?
I mean, the plan seems to be score a wonder goal and hope it wins the game. You know, I mean,
unfortunately, they've always got players who can do that, so it kind of works.
But it depends what you want. Do you want a team like a Chelsea or like a Liverpool or like a Manchester City, where you're watching players tap the ball into an open goal from 6 yards out because the chances that are being created are so good and the ability to break teams down is right up there with the best in the world? Or do you want to see players dribbling, going past players, curling one into the top corner? Listen, that's been fantastic so far from Manchester United. They've relied on some talents to get them through some games. However, is that going to win you the Premier League title? And that's what Manchester United fans want, and that's what the club should be aiming for. If you're going to do that, you need to control football matches. That maybe happens from the midfield. I know we spoke about it before, but I think there's a feeling that Manchester United at the moment, they're playing off some of that individual talent, and it's less about their footballing philosophy. It's less about creating a platform to create clear goal scoring opportunities. And actually the XG points to that in some way, that a team as good as Manchester United in terms of their XG is what, half as many as a team like Liverpool. For me, when you look at the level that Chelsea are playing at, and even the level that Liverpool are playing at, Manchester United are still just a level behind. We've seen that in the Champions League. We've seen that in some of their performances in the Premier League. They've been lucky to win some games in a way, because the other teams have played so well and they haven't put their chances in the back of the net. So when you look at it, can you even say that Manchester United are on the same level currently as the likes of Chelsea or Liverpool? I don't think so.
I mean, we've been a bit doom and gloom. They are still third. They still are joint top of the league. And I agree with you. I still think they'll win this game.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing them play. I still think they will win this game. They are getting better at home. And you've got to say, Cristiano Ronaldo is making a difference in those difficult home matches that they were finding it hard to get over the line last season. It just looks like the fear factor that Ronaldo brings to that forward line is affecting not just him, but the other players, giving the others a little bit more room. And then, of course, the impact that he has with his talent individually. I do think he changes the dynamic for that forward three. He just gets you that extra goal that turns draws into wins. And that's why he's one of the best in the business. I think it'll be a good game. I think Aston Villa will give it a good go. And I can see both sides scoring at least a couple of goals, but I still think Man United will win it. Maybe 4-2, 3-2. What do you think? Yeah,
I agree with you. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in that one. I agree. I think, but I think Man United, with Ronaldo, you're guaranteed a goal. So you're already 1-0 up. So you should be winning every game. And I think you will. I think you'll win this one. I think you're right. Maybe 3-1, something like that.
Hi, I'm Hugh Wisencroft from ESPN's Football Forecast. Make sure you're subscribed. You can follow all of our predictions throughout the season and get some other great analysis from our big names as well.